Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
James Held at IFL TV in association with Matt Flynn's Jim Marbauer. We're at the press conference today for Tyson Fury, WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO 2. With me, I've got trainer and uncle to Tyson Fury, Peter Fury. How are you, Pete?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
Good,
everything's
good.
okay.
Bit anticlimactic today at the press conference, the fact we haven't got to see Tyson Fury in his full sort of press conference mode. What's the logic and reason behind him not coming today, Pete?
Well, we're all in the same, you know. He sent a text message and he rang me. He said, "Look, I can't make it." He said, "I've had problems with the car." He said, just get on and do it without me. You know, Tyson, he's just not bothered about anything, is he? So that's as much as I can tell you. You know as much as me, but he was coming. Everything was arranged. Supposed to make his way down here, and he's not turned up.
Has this got anything to do with the way Tyson Fury was treated in Germany? The fact that it was the Klitschko show, everything was sort of their way. Has this got anything to do whatsoever with what happened in Dusseldorf? The fact he hasn't played up?
Well, if it has, he hasn't said so. So your guess is as good as mine. So on that, I can't comment. I can only give you a comment as to what he said to me this morning. So that's what he said.
What was Vlad's mood like? I was outside waiting for Tyson, so I didn't see the presser. What was Vlad like at the presser? Was he a bit down with Tyson?
Well, Vladimir, I don't really know. I don't really have much to do with them. I don't know how he's assessing it or whatever. It's one of them things. He probably thinks it's just a deliberate ploy by Tyson, which they will do. You know, a lot of people will, won't they?
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think it is by Tyson. Tyson's just what he is. So if he's not come down because it's inconvenient or something's happened, he can't make it. You know, who knows? But one thing is for sure, he said he couldn't turn up and he's not here.
How pleased are you that you're going to be concentrating on the boxing and solely on your what you love doing is training Tyson and the rest of the team? Because you've had so much people throwing mud at Fury in between these fights being made. We've all seen the articles that have been written and wrote and whatever it takes to be. So how much of a relief is it that you've got your date and you can concentrate on doing what you're setting out to do?
I think it is a relief, of course. It's a relief to get the fights on and get everything moving forward. But you know, Tyson's always said, and he stands by what he believes. You know, it's a witch hunt. He wasn't given the credit out there in Germany, and it seems like he's been got at from A to Z ever since. So you know, he's not happy the way he's been treated with the media, the public. So, but this is it. I said to him, I said, look, you have to get through these things and just get and do what's important, and that's prove the doubters wrong by doing what you do best.
Do you think
keep winning?
Tyson's achievements in Dusseldorf have been majorly downplayed. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that people aren't celebrating the fact that we have the super champion, unified super champion here in England?
I really don't know the answer to it. Tyson thinks it's because of his background, being gypsy heritage and stuff like this. So maybe that plays a role. You know, who knows? But for me, for him to achieve what he achieved out there, it wouldn't really bother me what people thought. I know what he's achieved. So for me, I'm very happy, and I think deep down a lot of people do realise what he's achieved. You know, and he has got some good fans out there as well. So you know, everybody, when you're in the limelight, he's still young, isn't he? He's 28. You know, he's had a lot to deal with.
Do you think people sometimes forget that he is only 28 years of age?
I think so. He's a young man, and he's also highly intelligent. You know, and he's
a student of the game, Tyson, isn't he?
He's a student of the game.
Very astute.
And I think what it is, with all the business element and the politics and, you know, the allegations set against him, you know, I think he's thinking to himself, you know, why have I got to please everybody? They think bad of me anyway. So I think he just, sometimes, maybe he thinks like this.
Why do you think there has been this, I hate to say the word smear campaign, but it seems that people have been chucking mud at Tyson Fury since he beat WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO in Dusseldorf. Why do you think the reason is for people not appreciating his achievements?
You know, I've no idea because he's articulate, he's good for boxing, he speaks well. You know, I think he's a breath of fresh air for the fight game. But look, you know, I can't judge what's in other people's minds. You know, it's just what it is. Like I said, he's got to knuckle down and just get on with his job.
Has it been quite a trying time for yourself with everything that's been going on? And how do you sort of switch off from that?
Sure, you know, it's been very disappointing. It's been disappointing for the fact of the sheer hard work we've done over the years and everything else, and to try and people discredit that is not nice. So, but look, there's always the truth always shines through. And you know, I can sit here relaxed. We're on with the next fight. If we listen to what public opinion says, Tyson would have never been a world champion. He would never be here. We'd never be in a rematch because, according to everybody else, the fight's off. He's getting charged. He's going to get banned. He's going to get everything else. So, you know, what can I raise and react to all public opinion? It's just what it is. It's public opinion. The same way as you're asking me, James, to assess why it is. I can't put my mind in people's minds. I can guess, but then I become a conspiracy theorist. So I'll leave the conspiracy theorists to do just that. I'm a realist. I know what's in front of us. I know Tyson's achievements, and that's all that matters. And ultimately, that's all that should matter to Tyson.
Since the fight, it's been nearly, I think it's nearly coming up to a year since Tyson fully won the belts.
Yeah.
How do you think that year's settled Tyson with that year's inactivity? How do you think he's dealt with that? And sort of, what's he been like in the gym? Has it sort of been training routine day in, day out for him guys? How was that sort of thing?
He's been training well, and like I said, you know, obviously there has been an effect with all the allegations going on around him. He's not been in a happy place there, but he's been dealing with it, and he is on with it. He's back in full training, and he is in a good place. But you know, he does feel that he's nowhere near had the respect, and he sees it. He says to me many a time, he said, "Look, this is just a witch hunt." He said, "You know, what does winning the heavyweight title, championship of the world mean?" He said, "Rather be applauded for everybody." He said, "There's been a witch hunt against me. It's almost as if I wish I never won it." So you know, it gives you an idea of the things that run across his mind.
If other British heavyweights had gone out there and beat Klitschko, I'm not going to name any names, but if another heavyweight had gone out there and beat Klitschko, do you think the response would have been different? And do you think he would have been given an OBE by now?
I've got to say so, yeah. I think the response would be phenomenal. I think they'd be carrying him on a golden platter. I think that person would go down in the history books. You know, it's the first ever heavyweight in England, really, to achieve the impossible. So I think people seriously got to look at themselves and ask the question as to why, because you know, he is a heavyweight world champion, and we know over the years people trash talk. You know, Ali was the best at it. You know, let's go back. You know, God rest his soul, and look what he said. You know, white people are evil. You know, it doesn't get any more severe than that. You know, he failed to represent his country, and millions of people were dying. It doesn't get any worse than that. But where is Ali today? The man's an idol. The man's a legend. A living, well, not a living legend, unfortunately, but the man is a legend. One of the greatest men to ever set gloves on. So it's all trivial. And my point is, it doesn't get near for them to give an excuse by, oh, it's how Tyson speaks it, what he says. It's much more deeper than that. Because like I said, Ali seemed to say it all. But I think it's like the same. I think Ali at the time had a lot of stick. Anybody that's vocal gets a lot of press. And there is no such a thing as bad press, they say. You know, look at Mayweather. You know, but I think what Tyson needs to understand as well is everything goes around. You know, people die down. They do enjoy him, really. Everybody likes to complain. You've only got to go on the social feed sites. You know, you can be absolutely kind to people, tell them what they want to hear, and then you respond and go, oh, you meant such and such a thing when you didn't. They'll twist your words up and down. You know, so this is all part of being in the media spotlight.
You mentioned Muhammad Ali. Now, Henry Cooper pushed Muhammad Ali very close. There was glove speculation and whatever the case may be, but he didn't win. The respect he has spoken about from that fight, from facing Muhammad Ali. Now, I'm not comparing Muhammad Ali and Klitschko, but Klitschko is our generation's, or was our generation's super champion.
Yeah.
The fact that Tyson hasn't got the respect and been given that respect from even the boxing fraternity, how does that make you look?
Well, like I said, I don't really feel anything. I'm just going about my job, and I know I'm 100% dedicated to boxing. You know, the boxing has took over my life. It's 24/7. I've got a family that support me, you know, and we're doing everything round the clock. You know, we're just doing our best. I realise, you know, you're in a war zone, and this is how it is. You have to go forward. But look, the good always outweighs the bad, in my opinion. You know, the winning of him, his arm being lifted up in Dusseldorf, you know, for me, it will never be repeated. That buzz and what we had that night will never be repeated. But still, there's many and more enjoyable times ahead. You know, there's other fighters coming through. There's my son. You know, they've all, you know, Tyson's done exceptionally well. And I think Tyson needs to realise just exactly what he has achieved, and saying, you know, it can only be people of lesser minds to basically run him down and not give him the credit he's due. That's not Tyson Fury's fault. That's the public that's want to do that, because there's ulterior motives there.
We've seen you've got fantastic use of different facilities around the world.
Yeah.
Where will Tyson Fury and yourself do the bulk of the camp for this fight?
The camp is going ahead in Team Fury headquarters in Bolton on Halliwell Road. So that's where we're going to do all the camp.
Good to be back in Bolton. You haven't done a full camp there for a while.
No, it's very good. I think the last one we did was Chisora, and we did some of the Klitschko. I think we've done some of that there as well, the first one. So, but we have been abroad and moved around. So in this one, we're in Bolton, and that's where we are.
Has there been any changes within the team? Has anything changed since we've last spoken? How is everything within Team Fury?
Yeah, everything's great. You know, for me, it's down to business, and that's all we can do. So there's nothing else we can do. Look, when something knocks on your door, you've got to deal with it, haven't you? You can't put your head in the sand. So we just get on with it.
You've seen your son Huey's going to be facing Andy Ruiz Jr. Great fighter, Andy. He's very underrated. He doesn't have the best of physique, shall we say, but he is known as someone who is a real fighter and someone who could be a contender in the future. So it's great to see that fight rank, and full respect to Huey for taking that.
I think you've only got to look at what people said about Tyson's physique and look what he achieved. You know, it's all rubbish. Andy Ruiz Jr. is probably one of the best fighters in the world right now. He's got excellent hand speed, he can punch, and the guy can fight, and he's tough. So he's any fighter's nightmare. He's not ranked in all the governing bodies in the top 5 for nothing.
Do you not like Huey? You keep putting him in with these guys, and he's like 21 years of age. You keep chucking him with these absolute monsters. What's the reason and logic behind this?
Because if you're going to do greatness in boxing, then you have to step up to the plate. I don't want him to be a protected promoter's dream or dressed up. Learn your job, and you know he'll do his best. Andy Ruiz Jr. will bring out the best in him. If he falls short, he falls short. You know, some of the best fighters in the world. Everybody has to lose sometime. You know, what damage can it do? Let him fight good fighters, and let's see if he wants to be the real deal. Knows what the boxing's about. This is no game. This ain't a play park job. You know, if you want to be an elite fighter and reign at the top for a very long time, you've got to come up the hard way. Otherwise, you're going to get exposed. So, best to come up now and fight good fighters, because look, he's ranked number 5 with the WBO. So let's get it on.
We had a big fight at
Do you want a water or coffee?
Gennady Golovkin, Kell Brook. Did you happen to watch the fight?
I did.
If so, what did you think of Kell Brook's performance?
I thought he'd done great, you know. I thought he had a very good performance. I think what people was expecting, you know, and I do believe he got to Golovkin a bit. It's not what Golovkin said was true at the end, where he couldn't feel anything. I don't think any fighter feels anything anyway when they're in there, you know. But he knew he was being hit. The uppercut was landing perfect for him. He stood his ground through a few combinations. But what I would have done if I was him, and it's all right looking after the event, where he caught Golovkin and he caught him with them few shots, he should have stepped in again, put his head down and slung it out, because you never know how much a man can take to the breaking point. So he hit him with 3 shots. He almost warmed him up to let Golovkin realise, hey, I've got somebody in front of me, but he didn't follow through with it. And I think that was the undoing of him.
What did we learn about Golovkin from that fight? What did we see in Golovkin that we haven't maybe seen before?
I think Golovkin is a one-off. I think he's an elite fighter. I think it's right that people compare him to the Marvin Hagler of the past. I think the guy's the real deal in every aspect. I think people say he doesn't move his head, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. That's because he's got no value for the guy in front of him. He's got no value for the power. So therefore, he's taking everything. What he's doing, Golovkin, is very clever. He's taking their punches so he can get his own in, because he knows.
Like he did with Rosado.
Yeah, and like he done with Martin Murray in Monaco. He literally stood there and let Murray hit him. But there was a reason behind his madness. Now, he fought a guy called, is it Curtis Stevens?
Yes.
Now, look how he boxed Stevens. Because Stevens was a one-punch knockout artist. He boxed him. Stevens didn't get a shot in. He boxed him, he was cautious, he was moving. This is a guy who's had nearly 300 amateur fights. And this is how inexperienced spectators and people in boxing see things. Because the guy's literally walking through them. Not because he can't see the shots, not because he doesn't want to take them. He's happy to take them to exchange because he knows he's carrying a detonator. And to get that detonator off, he doesn't want a boxing match. He can afford, this guy's on so much of an elite level, he can afford to have an exciting fight knowing he's not going to come unstuck.
Big drama show.
Big drama show for him because he doesn't see the threat level there. That's how good that guy is.
Immediately after the fight, he said what he said on Kel, as you just spoke about, but he then called out BoxNation, Frank Warren's very own Billy Joe Saunders, which would be an interesting clash with Bill and something that the fight fans would like to see. Do you have an opinion on that? Do you think that fight could be made?
Yeah, I do. It's all about just how good you are. Let me say this to you. All power can be negated. Boxing is an art and boxing is a skill. All power can be negated by what you do yourself to negate that other opponent's power. So Billy Joe, southpaw, lovely boxer, rock solid chin. It's not a puncher that's going to beat Golovkin. It's a slick boxer, mover. Billy Joe's got the best shot out there. Everybody's got to favour Golovkin because of the man he is. He's an awesome fighter. But there's all kryptonite to every fighter. And Billy Joe could have that kryptonite. So he's got all the tools to give Golovkin big problems because a puncher's not going to give him problems.
We've also seen next week we've got Liam Smith going out to defend his world title against Saul Canelo Alvarez. I know Frank Warren's really excited about this, and it's a really great fight because we've not seen Liam sort of in that deeper water before. He is undefeated, he's very tough, he's a great fighter. And what chance did you give Liam of retaining his title?
I think he's trained very hard. I think Liam Smith is a tough, worthy world champion. He's probably just as good a world champion we've got in the UK right now. He's right up there, and he deserves his belt and he belongs there. He's tough. I've seen him sparring in Joe's gym a few times, and you can see the talent oozing out of him because everything's no problem. The guy's as tough as a brick, and he's coming. But
I think there's a chance they could have underestimated him.
If they have, they're silly. I think if we haven't got 100% Canelo, he'll come undone. It's a serious test for anybody, and I think it's not going to be an easy fight.
He's so game worn as well. You wouldn't put it past him to stand in the middle and just have it with Canelo, would you?
But what I do see, I see Canelo having very, very fast hands. He's a very, very good boxer himself, and he's very quick on the response with the feet in and out, angles and everything else. I think this is Liam Smith. This fighter's the best fighter he's fought times 100 he's been in front of. That could be a telling difference.
The fact that Liam Smith is going out there as the champion to defend his belt, he could have took lesser fights, he could have took fights for sort of different home advantage. He's gone out there to put it all on the line against Canelo Alvarez. How much respect have you got for him?
Ultimate respect, and he should take it and grab it with both hands, and thank God he's got the fight. Because because you're in boxing, he's a world champion. Be somebody, he's got the world on his feet there. If he can topple Canelo, how great is that for British boxing? The guy's become a superstar overnight. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Canelo's got 2 pairs of arms and 2 pairs of legs. Well, 1 pair of legs, sorry. So that's where we are. So go out and take it with both hands. Wish him all the best of luck in the world. I know what they've got to go through on this level to win fights, and I know people that know him very well, and he's an absolute gentleman of a young man, and he deserves all the credit. They're a great family, then, great fighting family. I met the dad, good people.
Nice man, Paul Smith.
They deserve their success, you know, full credit to them. And full credit to Joe Gallagher, because he does wonders with them.
Lastly but not least, where is Team Fury's very own John Fury? If anyone unsettles the Klitschkos, it is that man. Why was he not on the top table today, megaphoning out? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I was looking forward to his presence today, but unfortunately he couldn't be here because obviously if his son can't make it, he won't come without Tyson. So, but that's where we are. But
He
John
terrifies the Klitschkos. You can see the fear in his eyes when he starts speaking.
Exactly, he speaks with a passion. So, you know, yeah, it's a pity what happened today, but there's not a lot we can do about it.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? So
It is.
No doubt we'll have a fight week presser. I'm sure there'll be some media obligations beforehand, but
Sure.
wish you and Tyson and the team the best with your camp. I know you guys know what's on stake and you'll leave no stone unturned.
Exactly.
And we'll see you real soon. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you again,
Good to
James.
get you on. It's been a little while. With everything that's been going on, it's been overdue a little catch up.
It has. Nice to see you.
Nice. Thank you, Pete.
Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.